So from my understanding is obviously the Sears Tower right now, or the Sears building, the old Sears building, has that white stucco on it. So when that stucco is taken out,
it's all the concrete that's behind.
Yeah. So there's another structure behind it.
And what was going to happen previously is that the instruction was going to be in kind of a limited. Well, actually, no, that project I think had to go through a larger environmental review, but was to look at that. To find out what was there, if it was historic, because the survey that was done previously, again, somewhere between like 2016 and 18, if I'm not mistaken, did not define it as historic or potentially historic.
Well, as Damon said, he said historic means a lot of different things.
Yeah, it is.
So
subjective term in a way.
Is it protected under historic?
That building is not protected. I know, Mr. Sullivan has come in many times to speak about that, and he had a very fair recommendation there to either further investigate it as part of that review, which now is kind of scuttled by AB 130, but also the ability to incorporate it into the design. Let's find a way to maybe save that corner feature. Totally makes sense. I believe one of the examples he has from Houston does that very well. We just don't have a legal mechanism to require that. And with some of the changes that were made, I definitely don't have the ability to go and force that on any proposer.
And I'm assuming council voted unanimously for this?
They at the time they went through the stage one, the direction was to go and investigate the potential historic nature of it, to investigate it further. And again, with some of the changes in the rules, that this may likely is not going to happen.
So it's going to be a full demo project.
Most likely.
That's unfortunate.
So when you say legally, you cannot, for example, you can't say, okay, we're approving the project, but this is the contingency or whatever.
With conditions, I think.
Conditions on the corner being saved.
Yeah. But those conditions have to be rooted in some sort of legality, right? It can't be something I just arbitrarily apply to.
Who owned the building prior to this developer?
I'm not sure about that off the top of my head.
Damon, do you know who owned it? Did you hang up with Damon?
Yeah, Damon's disconnected.
Oh, okay. I wanted to, because knowing, Damon knows the history behind it. I was curious to know.
We have to continue moving on callers. And
all right, that's
questions.
Fine. We have the next caller?
Well, no, that's the reason why we need to keep moving, because they keep going to voicemail and disconnecting.
So. Oh, I see. Sorry, guys. If you do have a question, just call in. Joe will tap you in. But
another question we have, though, it's very, actually, I'm curious about this one as well. Says, I know back in the day there was a plan for a park over the 134 freeway between Brand and Central. Whatever happened to that?
Oh, Space 134. It's one of the reasons why I came down here, actually, was to work on that project. It's still there. We still have a plan in place. I think part of there needs to be some more work done, some more study. But right now it's kind of a funding issue.
So it's over the freeway, actual freeway itself.
So it was 2 phases. It was a pretty ambitious and large scale project. We would have to find some sort of funding source for any kind of big public space project like that. And building over a freeway now has become extremely expensive to do.
Would you shut down the freeway at that point?
You wouldn't have to shut it down for construction. Actually, if you look, what is it, on the 101, they have a nature crossing that actually went over the freeway to get animals to move across from one mountain range over to another.
But I mean, you're talking about from Central to Brand, a park
on the over the top of the
over freeway. The top of the freeway. Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's what the plan was. But you could construct that in phases where you wouldn't have to shut down the whole freeway, or maybe you shut it down for periods at night so that you could do work. It's a pretty common project that's been done around the country. Dallas, Texas comes to mind with one of the best ones I've seen. But right now, when we saw that number to build that project, finding a funding source for that is going to be extremely difficult.
I thought that was going to be a great project.
It was a
that would be interesting, actually.
A great idea.
I mean, we should do something like that over these like dirty washes, though.
We are working on a project that is considering the wash for a kind of linear park system.
Because I know a lot of people were against it. To be honest with you, I'd rather see a nice park there rather than a wash.
And we're moving on to the second phase of that study. The first was just to get kind of a basic idea what could occur there. The second phase is going to dig a little bit deeper to really find out what's possible. Look, no matter what, I cannot compromise that wash's role as a flood control channel. It has to move water out. It was built because of a flood. It's there to prevent floods. And what I akin that to is it's a glass of water and how much ice can you put in it before it starts overflowing. So we're trying to figure out what we can do. You start to get to some of those northern segments. You could actually put one hand on one wall and one hand on the other. I may not be able to do, that may not be able to do much over there. I would also say that as you get the further northern portions of the city, those are obviously far less dense areas. That may not be something that is necessarily as compatible with those neighborhoods as it is when you get further south into Glen Oaks, downtown, places like that. So there's a lot of work to still be done on that. We're just getting into the second phase of that study.
Okay. Did you enjoy that clip? Click over here to watch the full episode, and click over here to subscribe to the WiseNuts podcast YouTube channel.